exactly what you expect to achieve as a result of your study. So this is what the broadly you need to do for identification of your research topic. And then as far as your research journey is concerned, this should be a steps, right? This is how your research journey should be: selection of problem, broad topic as I mentioned, review of literature, fine tuning the research topic, and then formulate the hypothesis. Once you formulate hypothesis, you will be formulating objectives and methodology. Then you need to get ready for collection of data. Then you will be collecting data. Once you have collected data, you will be interpreting and you will be doing analysis, and then you will be evaluating data, testing your hypothesis. And if you are not able to test your hypothesis in the right way, then you need to go back and start again formulation, revise your hypothesis, make the correction hypothesis, make the changes in your objectives, and make the changes in the experiment, collect the data, interpret it, and again test the hypothesis. And once it is done, write the report. So this should be your research journey. And this the same thing I have narrated in pictorial form. So the first is review of literature, defining research problem, review concepts and theories, review of previous research findings, formulation of your hypothesis, design research design, including sample design, collection of data. I'm doing experiment collection of data, analysis of data, testing your hypothesis, and then interpretation and report writing. Okay. Now literature review. Now I'm going to tell you very systematically what the literature review is all about and how to do it. Friend, the review of literature is defined as a broad, comprehensive, in-depth, systematic, and critical review of scholarly publications, unpublished scholarly print material, audiovisual materials, and personal communication. You see, it's not only published data. Sometimes it could be like published data, and it could be unpublished scholarly print material, because sometimes the data might be in press, the paper might be in press, it has already been accepted, and it is in the queue of the publication. So that is also available. Nowadays. Most of the journal making those papers available. You might be having some audiovisual materials that also need to be referred, and personal communication. This is very important. Like, you should keep on interacting with the people. That is why research scholar, every year research scholar should attend at least one conference, minimum one conference, and that too the conference wherein mela nahi hoga, limited number honge, so that you will be having opportunity to have the interaction. Science Congress जैसा मेला नहीं होगा. Science Congress में like you will not have any opportunity to have the interaction. So what is the purposes of literature review? It determines if the proposed research is actually needed. Like, whatever research you will be doing, whether it is actually needed. So you will be saying like what kind of similar what others are doing, right? Whether the similar research is being carried out. If it is being carried out, what should be the difference in my approach? That can be identified by using literature review. You can narrow down the scope of the problem, because you must be able to narrow down the scope, because if it is too broad, it will be very difficult for you to maintain the novelty of the article, and later on, whenever you will be submitting your research paper to for publication, then again it will be very difficult for you to convince the reviewer. Generate hypotheses or questions for further studies. This is also very important, because through literature review only you will be able to generate questions. Questions mean nothing but the hypothesis. What are the sources? Books and journals, electronic databases, as I mentioned earlier, bibliographic databases, abstract databases, full text databases. Sometimes you need to refer some government and industry report as well. Like, for example, we were doing we are working on sensors, like hazardous gas sensor. So we need to understand what are the hazardous gases which are liberating, which are being liberated, are released by the industries, and how they are going to be affected, right? So that kind of data we can have through the Ministry of Environmental sciences, right? Similarly, like if you are having, like if you are working on heavy metal ion sensors, for example, I'm quoting some examples, right? So you need to understand like what kind of the heavy metals are being added in the river waters, and how it is going to be affected your drinking water. You can have some internet sources, research dissertation as well, because there are many research dissertation theses available online. You need to see that, so that you will be able to understand what is happening elsewhere. And now I'm going to tell you how to do the literature review. Now, first of all, because I'm going to spend a good amount of time for this, and maybe this could be a last slide for today's deliberation, and then I will provide you opportunity to raise the question. Now, as far as literature review is concerned, it should be very rigorous on the basis of quality as well as quantity. Rigorous, what do you mean by rigorous, right? Let us say if somebody is doing, let's say for example, I'm a new research scholar and I have collected 100 or 200 research scholars. Can it be referred as rigorous? Truly speaking, it may not be, or it need not be, because 100 200 papers, fine. As far as quantity is concerned, fine, I'm happy with the rigor, I mean the amount, right, the volume. But as far as the quality is concerned, we need to understand like what are the journals which I have identified for the selection of articles. So therefore, rigorous, the quality will comes from the journal of international repute. So if we need to understand what are the journal of international repute. So identification of journal of international repute is going to be a key aspect. I have included for some slide to understand which journals can be referred as international journal of international repute. Let me tell you, Scopus, Web of Science, SCI journals, these are all like those who are Thomson Reuters impact factor journals. Those journals are, most of those journals, 99.9, maybe 0.00001%, maybe you will be having substandard journal in Thomson Reuters or Scopus and Web of Science, but most of the journals, 99.9% journals from Scopus, Web of Science and SCI are a quality journals. So, but you need to understand what is Scopus, what is Web of Science, right? Similarly, what is Thomson Reuters, that we need to understand. That therefore I have included some slide. So let us say you are well aware of what the Journal of International Repute means, and you have selected let us say 10 different Journal of International Repute. Does it mean that you are going to be like you will be doing the quality, you will be satisfying this quality aspect of this rigorous word? No. The reason being, you see, let us say you have identified 10 different research journals, 10 different research journals which are from Scopus or Web of Science, which has got Thomson Reuters impact factor more than 5, for example. But all those journals, सबसे important point क्या रहेगा कि whatever journal you have chosen, what is the percentage of articles from your focus area publishing in that particular journal. मान लो अगर जो 10 जर्नल मैंने आइडेंटिफाई किए, उसमें अगर ओनली 10% ऑफ रिसर्च पेपर्स आर बीइंग पब्लिश फ्रॉम माय फोकस एरिया, देन व्हाट इज द गुडनेस ऑफ दोस गुड जर्नल? इट इज यूजलेस. And therefore, first of all, the first step is to identify journal of international repute, and then we need to make it sure that whatever journals we have chosen for literature review, most of the paper, maybe at least more than 50% paper, at least maybe more than 10-20% is not going to solve the purpose. At least more than 50% papers are going to be published from my focus area. Those journals need to be identified. जैसे कि एग्जांपल देता हूं, एक जर्नल्स आपने आइडेंटिफाई किया, 2 जर्नल्स आइडेंटिफाई किए, एक बोथ ऑफ देम आर स्कोपस, वेब ऑफ साइंस, बोथ ऑफ देम आर स्कोपस एंड वेब ऑफ साइंस, राइट? एक का इंपैक्ट फैक्टर 10, दूसरे का है 2. which one is going to be good? The journal which has got Thomson Reuters 10 impact factor as compared to journal which has got 2 impact factor. But जिस जर्नल का इंपैक्ट फैक्टर 10 है, वहां पर you have got only 5% of articles from your area, and the journal which has got 2 impact factor, there 95% of research papers are from your research area. Which journal is going to be good for you? The journal which has got even 2 impact factor. And therefore, my friend, only impact factor should not be the criteria. Yes, impact factor should be criteria, but again you need to see whether that journal is publishing articles, journal is publishing articles from your own research area. If it is the case, then only those journals could be good for you for literature review. Okay, now next. Now let us say you have identified the journals which are publishing papers from your own focus area. Does it mean that you will be able to inculcate novelty, encourage novelty? Need not be again. Need not be again. Let me tell you, for example, let us say you are a very genuine research scholar, right? You are very genuine research scholar. You understand what the Journal of International Repute means. You know what the Thomson Reuters means. You have selected, you have identified all those journals which has got more than 5 impact factor, all those journal where you have you have published your sorry, whatever the articles which are being published in these articles are more than 50%, right? Everything is done, and you have refer those, right? अब करने देखिए लिटरेचर रिव्यू जब करते तो क्या करते हम, you see here, whenever, like this is what I am asking my student to do, like whenever new student coming to me, I always ask him to collect a minimum 100 papers. Those 100 papers should be combination of old papers as well as new paper. Why old paper? Because you never know, कभी कभी ऐसा होगा कि पिछले 10 साल में कोई एरिया होगा जिसके ऊपर कोई बहुत ज्यादा फोकस नहीं हुआ होगा. So that you, for identification of that kind of topic, you need to refer old journals as well. And at the same time, you need to ensure that what is happening across the globe in that area as of today. So therefore, old journal and latest journal. Let us say if I ask my student to do review in the month of January 2021, then I will ask him to select some of the papers from December to 2020 as well. Very recent papers, right? And then I will ask him to make categorize those papers, maybe like 10 different categories, 10 papers in one group, another 10 paper, another group, based on objectives, based on methodology, based on interpretation of tools, based on the theme, whatever. It depends on the topic. Once you have the category, then I will ask my student to do this, follow this method. What those method I usually ask? I will ask my student to do the review in this following fashion. First, what are those research scholars? Like what is their affiliation? Because we need to understand where they are working. That is also equally important. क्योंकि आजकल कुछ ऐसे लोग हैं कि they are publishing fake data. मैंने बताया आपको कि your research should be replicable. Your research should be replicable. Let me tell you, my friend, I remember one incident when I was in US in 2007-8. There was one I mean, in sensors and actuators, sensors actuator B, we used to refer one particular author oftenly, whose name he is like he was from one of the European countries. His name is Netale. Every day, like whenever I used to refer the papers, every day I used to see that. And out of curiosity, I thought, let me see like how many research papers he is having. He was having, I remember in 2007 that he was having during those days more than 500 papers to his credit. So I thought, like, since he is having more than 500 Scopus Index paper to his credit, he must be very senior professor. Out of curiosity, I saw his affiliation. I went to his website. I browsed his website and see like what is his current status. I was surprised to see that he was associate professor. So at the age of like associate professor in foreign universities, he must be around 40. Because in most of the foreign universities, around 45 you will be professor. So at the age of 45, somebody is publishing 500 papers. There could be only two possibilities. Either you could be extraordinary person, or you could be a very, very, like the person who is doing managing everything. But I could not find out like whether he was because he was working in some other country. But I remember. But I have seen, because there are some journals even today, there are some authors. What they do, like once you publish data, he is going to do again. He will try to do he will try to replicate your experiment in his laboratory. And if he is not able to replicate, he will publish his own article in the same journal that This is not possible at all. And therefore, whenever you are submitting data, be careful. That is why replicability is one of the very, very inherent feature of any research. You need to be very sure. And therefore, one shot experience should not serve the purpose. And therefore, nowadays, in most of the journal, they are asking research scholar to put error bar. So that, I mean, error bar will show you, you help you to convince reviewer that you have done that experiment for more than one times. Right. So I was talking about the your very focus area. You have done everything. Like, okay, sorry. I was talking about the how that categorization should be done and what students should do. Okay, so I will ask student to identify what is their objectives, what kind of methodology they are following. Okay, and then what kind of materials they have used, what methodology they have adopted, what kind of tools they have used for the interpretation of data, what are their prominent conclusions, and at the end, what are their pitfalls. In all three like 10 different categories, I'm going to ask my student to do the review as by following this strategy: objectives, methodology, tools used for the interpretation, what are the actual conclusions, what are the pitfalls, and then I will be asking student to make your own strategy. Whatever pitfalls you have identified, try to have your own plan to address those issues. So now, like if you are having 100 articles with you, you will be having 10 different plans. You will be having 10 different plans to be addressed, which will have novelty. And then depending on priorities, you can set the priorities then. Depending on infrastructure, your own capabilities, or whatever, you can choose one of that, or you choose one of that first and go ahead, do the experiment, okay, and submit the data and publish your paper, and then you can think of other. So like that you need to do. Now the question is, even if you are doing this, still you may be missing the novelty aspect. Why? Let me tell you, my friend, sometimes what happens, you in addition to identification of journal of international repute, in addition to identification of journal having publishing your focus publishing paper from your focus area, you need to ensure, you need to know what are the potential research groups working across the globe. Why? Let me tell you, my friend. The reason being, let us say you have done everything except last step, and based on that you identify the pitfalls, right? You prepare the strategies, conducted experiment, or develop some mathematical model, got the results, okay, drafted the papers, submitted the paper. But by that time, since you are unaware of the other group, which was very potential, right? They have done, like, by the time you submit the paper, by that time they have published the paper on the same theme. So you lost the novelty. मतलब जब आपने काम शुरू किया तब तो नॉवेल था, but by the time you are submitting a research paper to research journal, by that time the other group were little bit ahead of you. That particular group was little bit ahead of you, and they published the data, and you lost the novelty. You will not be able to publish your data in good journal. And therefore, my friend, you should keep on track on what they are doing. You need to identify the potential group within the country and outside the country, to see like what kind of research they are doing, and you should be always ahead of them. You need to ensure that you will be always ahead of them. So if you ensure all those 4 points, I'm sure during literature review, and if you follow these steps while doing literature review, let me tell you, my friend, you will be always on winning side, and you will be able to publish your data in the journal of your own interest. आप जहां चाहो वहां पर आप डेटा आपका पब्लिश कर सकते हो. Now, okay, I have got another 10-15 minutes. So whenever we are talking about journal of international repute, मुझे थोड़ा आपको बताना जरूरी है, because some of you might be aware of impact factor, and many of you may not be aware. Those who are in the beginning phase of research career, they may not be aware. So let me quickly tell you what the impact factor is all about. Let us say you would like to calculate impact factor 2020. Okay, 2020 का हमें impact factor निकालना है. So formula is going to be A by B. What is B? Denominator, let me tell you. Denominator is the total number of citable items published by that journal during 18 and 19. मतलब पिछले 2 साल में उन्होंने कितने आर्टिकल पब्लिश किए. For example, I'm choosing one journal which is publishing 12 issues in a year, and each issue will have 12 papers. एक 12 issues हैं, every issue is going to publish 12 papers. So 12 multiplied by 12, एक साल में 144. So in 1 year 144, 2 years में कितने होंगे? 288. So 288 is going to be denominator. What is numerator? Numerator is the number of times article published in 18 and 19 were cited by index journal during 2020. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो 18-19 में जो आर्टिकल पब्लिश हुए थे, आउट ऑफ दैट हाउ मेनी वर साइटेड इन इंडेक्स जर्नल? अगेन, not any substandard journal, not any non-index journal. They are talking about index. I'm talking about Thomson-Reuters impact factor. Okay, so like if there are 244 articles and if all of them have been cited one time, so there will be 244 in numerator, there will be 244 in denominator, and impact factor will be 1. अब denominator is going to be the same, numerator may goes on increasing. अगर मान लो 288 जितने भी आर्टिकल्स है, whatever 288 or 244, if all articles cited twice, your impact factor will be 2. If cited 3 times, your impact factor will be 3. And if they are cited less than 1 time, obviously your impact factor would be less than 1 time. Is if out of 288 only half of the articles have got citations, so impact factor would be 0.5. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जिस जर्नल का इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर 1 से ज्यादा है इज गोइंग टू बी गुड. Earlier, this Thomson-Reuters impact factor was Institute of Scientific Information (ISI) was looking after. Nowadays, it is being maintained by Clarivate Analytics. Again, you need to know, you need to understand H-index as well, because nowadays people are talking about H-index too. H-index gives it is an atom to measure both productivity and impact of published work of the scientist or scholar. तो इसीलिए जैसे कि मान लो किसी का H-index 20 है, if somebody has H-index 20, so irrespective of the total number of papers, 20 means out of those, let us say somebody has 100 papers, out of those 100, 20 paper got minimum 20 citations. Minimum 20 paper got minimum 20 citations. So nowadays nobody is asking how many papers you have. Everybody is asking what is your H-index. So H-index will tell you what is impact and productivity of the research scholar. And therefore आजकल कहीं पर भी आप जाओगे, like in good institution, if you go for, like if you want to after PhD, if you really want to have postdoc in foreign universities, they will be asking you what are your citations and what is your H-index, right? And let me tell you the list of databases, because since this is group of only, but still we have got management science, right? So there are different databases. These are prominent databases I have collected. Arts and Humanities Citation Index, जो Arts and Humanities का आज कोई नहीं, इसलिए I'm least bothered. Indian Citation Index, this is multidisciplinary. Okay. Then Science Citation Index, this is dealing with is part of Web of Science. Okay. CI journals, this is very multidisciplinary journals. Then Scopus, this is also multidisciplinary. There are huge number of journals published. Social Science Citation Index, management science will come under this. Social Science Citation Index, they will be having lot of journals here, right? Again, you can see all the impact factor they will be having Thomson-Reuters impact factor, and there's Springer. These are some of the main databases which are being used, which are having international reputation. Okay, and you should prefer these databases for application. Let me give you a little bit information about the Scopus and Web of Science. Scopus is Elsted Abstract Citation Database, launched in 2004, and as I mentioned earlier, like it is multidisciplinary. Scopus is multidisciplinary. It publishes book series, journals, and conferences as well. And this is, I mean, as far as the Web of Science is concerned, this is, I mean, Web of Science is a little bit more standard, like higher in terms of standard, because Web of Science only referred, like whatever citations you will be having, those citations will be coming only from journals. Whereas in Scopus, there are some IEEE, and then AIP conferences, which are Scopus index as well. Web of Science is previously known as Web of Knowledge. This is nowadays, earlier it was being maintained by Institute of Scientific Information. Now it is being maintained by Clarivate Analytics, right? This is also multidisciplinary, and there are huge number of journals as far as the Web of Science is concerned. Okay. And ResearchGate. ResearchGate is a social networking site for scientists and researchers to share the papers and ask questions and find the collaborators. Now, let me tell you, my friend, one of the very peculiar characteristic of ResearchGate, like you can see, I have mentioned, it is impossible to get high RG score solely through publications. मान लो आपके publications बहुत सारे हैं, but if you are not you are very passive, you are not active on research grade, then your score is going to be less. And therefore, RG score should not be mistaken for academic reputation indicator. Nobody is using RG score as a indicator of academic excellence. The reason for that is, even though your publications count is good, but if you are not interactive on a research gate, your score is not going to be good. And therefore, but if you are interactive, because you will be having a lot of questions, the research scholar across the globe, they will be raising some question, and if you are responding to those questions, score is going to be increases. Google Scholar is something like another index. This is there are many. The problem is Google Scholar index is not that much standardized. Like internationally, most of the academics, like for example, if you want to have a job in good academic institution, or if you want to do a postdoc in good foreign university after PhD, they will be asking you Scopus and Web of Science citations and H-index. They are not going to ask Google Scholar, because Google Scholar consider many non-index journals also, citation from non-index journals also, right? And therefore, let me tell you the numbers, and then I will stop. Let me tell you the numbers. As far as the number, these are my numbers, because I should not refer somebody else. I have compared my numbers of Google Scholar, Scopus, and Web of Science. You can see the difference. My Google Scholar total number of articles are 215, but Scopus articles are 144. You can see the change, because here it is 144 and Web of Science is 128. As far as citations are concerned, Google Scholar citations are 3,316, Scopus citations are 2,487, and Web of Science citations are 2,122. As far as H-index is concerned, Google Scholar H-index is 32, Scopus is 27, and Web of Science is 27. And I-10 index, I-10 means like minimum 10 article, whatever articles you have got, minimum 10 article got, 93 article, if it is 93 means 93 article got minimum 10 citations. Okay, so whatever the number of articles got minimum 10 citations, that would be your I-10 number, I-10 index, right? Scopus and Web of Science, they don't measure I-10, they measure only H-index. So you can see the number. My intention was to tell you what is the standard. You can see the Web of Science is more standard, Scopus is little bit less, and Google Scholar is far ahead, far away, right? So therefore, my humble submission to this gathering, because you all are most of you are from science discipline and some of you from management discipline, you should publish your data henceforth. Whatever data you have published, fine, forget that. But henceforth, you should make it sure that you will be publishing data only in Scopus and Web of Science, not any other journal. And let me tell you the journal matrix, and then I will stop. My friend, whenever you are choosing good journal, you should not rely only on impact factor. Apart from impact factor, you should see these 4 another parameters. What are those? First of all, the site score. What is site score? Site score measure the average citation received per document published in this title. What is this? Like site score will take care of last 3 years. Impact factor will take care of last 2-year citation. Site score will take care of last 3-year citation. It means if site score is good, it means that journal is going to be really good. Next one is going to be 5-year impact factor. So this is like impact factor gives you 2-year citation, site score gives you 3-year citation, and 5-year impact factor will gives you the average citation for last 5 years. And then HJR and SNP, they are again very important quality indicators. HJR is Scimago Journal Rank. What is this? This is a measure of scientific influence of scholarly journal that accounts for both number of citations received by the journal and the importance or prestige of the journal where such citation comes from. It's not only number. Kisne refer kiya, that is also equally important. Like for example, there is one research scholar and working in the laboratory, and one fine day, Honorable Vice Chancellor, he visited laboratory and he started, appreciating that research scholar. This is something going to be very important, right? Appreciations coming from highest authority of the university, right? Rather than like, colleague uska appreciate kar raha hai, and then on the other hand, Vice Chancellor is appreciating, right? So this is something like that. Like whatever citation you got, who are those? What are those journals? कौन साइड कर रहा है आपको? That HR is going to take care of that, right? The SNPs. What is SNP? SNP is source normalized impact factor per paper. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि let us say you have got one journal publishing, let us say 30 articles in a month. 30 articles in a month, right? All articles are not going to get the citations. Some of the articles are going to be very excellent. They are going to get many citations. Some of the articles may not get any citation. So SNP is going to take the average of all. Okay, so if you are having good SNP, it means that that journal is going to be really good. And therefore, my friend, what you need to do is whenever you are choosing